Hello everyone, welcome back to our Mutation GraphQL course. In this last video, we're going to finish our course and our application. In previous video, what we did, we made our bottom form working. So if we will put something here and click add button, it will work. What we didn't do, if for example, we will change this checkbox, it won't be reflected in our in-memory database. So for example, if we will go to mockserver.db.dump and call it, we will see that we have 11 to-dos. And as you can see, in our last to-do, we don't have completed true as we have it here because our checkbox is not connected to our backend. So in this video, we're going to fix that. Let's go back to our editor. We need to go to our schema.graphql file and we need to add additional code here. Basically, we need update to-do mutation. Update to do, and this mutation should bring back to do, updated to do, and it also should take an input, which is update to do mutation input. We need to say here input, and we need ID of to do. Also, what we can update content, and we can say if to do completed or not completed. Both of those parameters can be optional because we can update both of them at the same time or only one of them if we want. We're done with this file. Now we need to go to our queries.graphql file and we need to add our new mutation, update to do. It will take input, update to the mutation input. Here we say update to do and provide input. And what we need to know an ID and we need to know if it's completed or not completed. Let's run our code generator one more time. It will generate mutation for us, mutation hook. Now we need to go to our to-do list.tsx file. And here we can say const use update to do mutation. We need to take mutate function from here. Let's take mutate. We will rename it to update to do. Now we have this function, and every time we click on a checkbox, we are going to update our to-do item. Update to-do. We need to provide input, and what we need to provide an ID of updated to-do and completed. We can take it from an event, but since we're going to toggle it, we will say not completed. Just reverse the value. Maybe let's disable input while we're updating. We'll rename it as is updating. Now what we need to do, we need to go to our mock server and provide custom resolver to this. So let's go back to our mock server. We have add to the mutation resolver already, and we will put update to the mutation resolver right after it. We can say input. Then we can say const to do. Here we will be containing updated to do. And then we say mock server.schema.find. We need to find our to do based on ID. And we can take it from an input ID, the rest input. Here we will store not updated, but to do we found. Our mock server might not find our to-do, so we need to cover error case. We need to say if there is no to-do, throw new error, to-do with ID not found. If we'll pass this stage, we know that to-do is there. And then we can easily say to-do update, and we need to provide an input. And we need to return our updated to-do. TypeScript is complaining, obviously. It's complaining because inside an input, there might be completed undefined or null or true. Basically, we could add those additional checks for null, but we don't care about it because it's a mock server. Probably it won't happen. So it's not worth it to do all those checks, in my opinion. So I will just use typecast here as to do. And basically that's it. We have custom resolver. Now we can go back to our browser and check if it's working. Let's refresh the page to be sure. And let's deselect first to do. Looks like it's working because for the moment all in the entire list was disabled. This is what we wanted. And now we can go to our mock data and check mockserver.db.dump. What we're checking if our mutation worked and first array is in false state right now. Yes, you see completed false. If we change it again, fire the same command, first to do will be in true state. Now still false. This is happening because after mutation we don't update state. So let's go and do that. Let's go back to our editor. We need to go to the place where we fire this mutation, and we need to say on success what we are going to do. This time we will use invalidate query instead of updating our cache manually. Why? Because just for fun. In order to do that, we need to take our query client, const query client, use query client, and then here we will say query client invalidate queries, and we need to invalidate our to-dos query. We need to provide name of the query we are going to invalidate, which is to-dos, and we will say named operations dot query dot get to-dos. Can remove braces around arrow function. There is no need in this, and we can go and check. After we will check the checkbox, it should fire mutation first, then it should refetch proper data from backend side. Let's check if it's working. So here we say dump, and we check our first item, completed true. Now we check it once, completed false, and one more time. As you can see, everything is working. Basically, we could update our cache manually, and in real application, I would do manual update, but here we just invalidated query in order to show that there is also another way to do it. So if you rely on server data approach, so you can invalidate queries each time, but it will do 2 requests instead of one for mutation and another one to refetch the data. Or you can update cache manually. In this case, you save a little bit resources, not firing the second request. The only thing which I don't like right now, it's when you toggle one checkbox, the entire list is disabled. So maybe we need to change that. Let's change that. In order to do that, we need to create additional component. Let's call it to-do item. It will be a function which will return JSX element. And basically what we are doing, we take the entire Lee element for this. We don't need key anymore. We need to provide a type to it. Type to do item props, which is read only, not array. Object to do. Wait, to do is already read only because we use read only for types generator. So there is no need in this. So we can say like this to do, and we need ID, and we need to know if it's completed or not completed. And also content we don't need, we don't use it. Also we can move our logic to custom hook. Const use update to do. Return update to do is loading, is updating. Here we will say const use update to do. Update to do is updating. Content we also need it. And now we have our component ready. We can use it. Here, as you can see, I explicitly pass all the props. Why? Because I will explain it in different video why I do this, because there will be few tests and some experiments. Let's see why TypeScript is not happy. Property ID is missing in type. Yes, we also need to provide ID. And now we can move it into separate component. Yeah, to do item. Yeah, well, let's do it as a folder. We take our to-do item component there. We also will create an additional file for our hook. We need to export our component. We need to import everything here. This one we can remove for reason. We keep it here. We have it in a different place. This one. This we don't need. Those things we also don't need. Redundant. Here we need to add missing import. Let's go back to the browser and check that we didn't break anything. The refactoring is successful. We add something new, added, false, checked only this one, so we can As you can see, we can fire multiply mutations the same time. So refactoring is successful. So our refactoring is successful. Also, we can put all those components into separate folders and put tests near those components, not like this, because this is a little bit messy, but we're not gonna do this. In this video course, we'll learn how to use Mirage.js with TypeScript and together with GraphQL. Now, you should be able to build your custom applications more complex than the one we did in this course. I hope this course was useful for you. If something was not clear and you want to know more about it, please put some comments, you know where to put them. If you like this course, you know what to do, and I'll see you in the next videos.